Stand by to see old snowman interview the Brahma Babe again.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
She's back. Please help me welcome San Antonio's superfan, Renee Peters, a.k.a. the Brahma Babe. How are you, my dear?
I am doing great. How are you, Brian?
I am doing good. And it's the Brahmas and the Battlehawks one more time.
Yes.
This time in the Thunderdome.
Again.
Again, yes. This is crazy. The following, and I've gotten to know so many Brahma fans and Battlehawk fans and just UFL fans in general. And you're right. This is a close-knit group. I'm loving it. I'm loving this first season.
Oh, it's great. I mean, even last week, while it's been my second trip to St. Louis, it was my first trip to a game. I went to St. Louis last fall for a fundraiser with the Battlehawks. So, I really didn't get that feel for the game environment. And, I just hearts and love out to the Battlehawk Nation because they were wonderful to us last weekend. Tailgating was a hoot. I had a great time, and it was just a really cool environment. Probably the closest environment to an NFL type scenario, tailgating slash college. I have my allegiances University of Miami and University of Florida, and so those two schools put out some pretty good, yeah. So tailgating. So for me, it was really cool to experience that, and everyone was really super great. So it was a fun time, except for that last moment.
That last play. Akeem Butler will be an absolute nightmare in Brahma fans, but it puts a chip on their shoulder because now they get to go back to St. Louis and extract revenge against the Battlehawks in the Battle Dome. And I have the feeling not only is part of the house going to be full, but the whole house is going to be full.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a loud environment. There is no doubt about that. I love it, and I think it was the first environment that the Brahmas have been in. In all honesty, I mean, yes, I'm a homer, but it was a loud environment. So there were some things that we had to get used to. There were some comm problems, which you really didn't know about being at the game, but going back and watching the game, saw that. But it's still, I'm not gonna nix the reality. It's loud in there, and we as Brahma fans were just as loud and egging it on. We did our defense, and that would egg on the Battlehawk fans to yell at us while they're on offense. So we're like, yeah.
I can tell that both sets of fans were having an absolute blast at the games. I had a chance to take a look at some of the highlights, and they showed some of the crowd, and it's a friendly crowd. They cheer on they cheer on their teams. So St. Louis the Battlehawks, and you guys the Brahmas. But you guys, I'll say it again, you guys were real close knit. You were following your teams, but y'all were just having an absolute blast. Just coming together as fans.
Oh yeah, we got together with some of the Battlehawks on Friday night and went out to dinner. I know like our mariachi and SAJ got there really early at tailgate. I'll be honest, it takes me a little while to get dressed, so I didn't get there at the crack of dawn, but definitely spent some time out there. And again, it was so great because I saw female fans, and you got your guy friends, and then you got your little Battlehawks, and your little kid fans, and it was really cool because just walking around, it's like, hey, Brahma Babe, or, you need some food, or, but it was a welcoming environment. And it was really nice to be able to meet new fans and see old friends. And, I'm looking forward to that again this weekend. I think it'll be.
Make you a promise. One time next year, we will meet. I will bring the family to a game in San Antonio, and we're gonna hang out.
Our family will hang
out. Our family will hang out with your family one day next year. That's a promise.
All right, we'll take care of you when you come there. We'll feed
you
well. And get you some beverages of whatever kind you like.
And
And
I want to
there you go.
show Jody a good time at a football game. I mean, yes, her allegiance is to the Colts, to the NFL, mine is to the 49ers, and we're working our way to get up to that level to get there. Hey, my goal is Radio Row in New Orleans because I am basically healthy after beating cancer and beating blood clots in both my lungs. And my amputated toe is healing well. They say next week I can, go out and go back to, I can go out and go back to work and I'll be able to get out of this doggone wheelchair. But
Yes.
I want to take the full time to get healthy. And that was my problem. I was so impatient that I scheduled things, including alternate play by play of UFL games. And then come right before they were scheduled, I passed out and fell
Oh
asleep.
my goodness. Yes, you
I
have to
didn't
take care of you first.
I didn't realize how tired my body was.
Mhm.
But like I said, I'll make you the promise. We'll come down to San Antone and we'll meet you and the family and we'll hang out for a Brahmas game. And hell, I'm gonna try to get in the press box and bring
Oh
y'all with us. I'll try to
yeah.
get in the press box and bring y'all with us. All right, down to business. The Battle Hawks and the Brahmas one more time. This time with a championship hanging in the balance and a trip to the UFL, the inaugural UFL Championship game, and for the Brahmas to play the Hawks as close as they did with a chance to win it with a field goal, which unfortunately wound up blocked. And I didn't think anybody would get a piece of it until I saw the ball tail the other way. What difference? What things do the Brahmas have to do differently, knowing they're going back into the same environment
Mhm.
to come out with a victory against the homestanding Battlehawks?
Well, I think the biggest thing, and I did see Coach Wade touch on this in an interview, but definitely coming back ready for crowd noise. I mean, let's face it, we're in a dome, crowd noise. We don't always get that in the UFL. In fact, there, with the exception of our crowd yelling, we really haven't gotten that. So I think, being aware and being able to navigate in crowd noise, because it's going to be brought. We know
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
I think we've got some key players coming back this week that have been out.
Hmm.
McFarland and Lovett. So I think, with them coming back, that brings a depth that maybe we didn't have last week. Um, I don't know if it comes down to kicking. um, that's a tough one. It's nothing against, our guys are great, but it's one of those areas that's just not been there for a few weeks now. And
Yeah.
we were all huddled up and holding on to one another when it came to that. Then he got iced, and we know that's going to come. I mean, if you're a kicker, you're going to get
Hmm.
iced.
Hmm.
So I think our D needs to keep thriving the way our D's been doing. Our D's just lit and on fire. But I think we really just need to focus, get out of the blocks early, make those scores, make it to where we don't have to depend on, getting down the field at the very end of the game and kicking a field goal. Again, it's not me being a negative fan. It's
Right.
just the reality of where we're strongest. So we need to come out of
Mhm.
the gates fighting, get in there, get some scores up on the board, maintain McCarron, Akeem. Yeah, it's going to be gelling all together and making all the pieces come together.
All right, I'll give you three keys to the game, and they're presented by Ford, the official vehicle of Snowman Multimedia, and also by Nissan, another official vehicle of Snowman Multimedia. The first one, you gotta like you just said it, you gotta come out fast. You can't settle for field goals in the dome because AJ McCarron will tear you to shreds if you allow him any kind of room. The second key, your running game has got to get going. And I'm speaking everything on all three keys are on offense.
Mhm.
You got to get your running game going. You can't allow that home crowd and that St. Louis defense to stick their chest out early. I've seen it too many times in the 40 plus years I've watched football of all leagues. If you allow them on defense to set the tone, then there's going to be problems for the Brahmas in comeback mode. Because if you think about it, last week they basically played in comeback mode for most of the second half. And the third key, and that is most important, you got to convert your third downs to shut that crowd up. You got to convert your third downs. I believe the number I got was 3 for 10 on third downs. I think that was the number. But you got to convert your third downs, and you have a vote of confidence from the crowd. Jackie Martinez She says, I know the babe, my day one horns forward. And she also says, let's not depend on Sentoso, talking about the kicker. Well,
Yes.
thank you for viewing today's interview with the Brahma Babe. And I tell you what, you have been such a delight the times I've had you on. I hope to work more with you next season because I plan to do a lot more alternative play-by-play. I will cover this one. That's a promise.
Yes.
I will I will cover this one. It's the third and final game between these two in the Battle Dome. And boy, I got to tell you, this is going to be crazy. I want you to describe the fan experience because you've been there. It's been a while since I've been in the dome in
Mhm.
St. Louis. Describe the fan experience from both sides
Mhm.
in the Battle Dome of that game last week.
Oh, I think from a Brahma standpoint, anytime you go into an environment in enemy territory, I guess you could say, and you
Hmm.
go into a dome and a team that's supported as well as they are, you've always kind of got those little bit of mindsets. How's fan base going to be? How are they going to now? Were they yelling? Yes. They were
Yes.
screaming, and I appreciate that as a fan. But I honestly
Hmm.
can go back, Ryan, and say, great fan base. We were sitting in section 111 by one of their big groups called I always call them the bottlenecks, but they're the battlenecks. And, these guys are dressed in mullets and just crazy, but they were awesome. We'd yell, they'd get louder. Even down to the security on the field.
Yeah.
Just great people. From the Battle Hawk side. I'm sure they're probably thinking, who are these crazy 8 people coming in
Yep.
dressed up? You
Yep.
know, we don't sit. We did not sit the
No.
whole game. We stand, we jump up and down, we do our ole ole. So,
Hmm.
I'm sure for them, if anything, it, I can't speak for the crowd there, but I feel like there was a bit of respect. The fact that we did come from that distance to support the team. Some of us will be back today. Jackie, who commented, she's been at every game this season as well. She's 210 Brahmasita, and you know, I think there was I felt like there was a real mutual respect between the crowd, the fan bases. Did they make it easy for us? No, but
No.
they shouldn't, because that's what fandom is about. As long as
Exactly.
you're not spewing out really nasty stuff, or you're not trying to purposely, physically, or verbalize or harm me, you know what? It comes with the game. It
Hmm.
comes with the passion.
It does.
So I don't think it was a negative environment for either fan base. I think this game might be a little bit crazier just because it's all on the line now.
Hmm.
Uh, and let's face it, the Battlehawks have owned us. They've
Yep.
owned us.
Yep.
I mean, that as a Jags fan, the Titans unfortunately have owned us a lot of times. And I know that creates a little bit of a rivalry right there, you
Hmm.
know. So, um, I think it's a mutual respect, and I think they're great fan bases on each. Yes, I would have loved to have been in San Antonio this weekend,
Yeah.
but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles, and we just got to go up there and show out and get to
It
tailgate with some
is.
great people again.
Yep, get a chance to tailgate again. The hospitality was amazing. We sat next to the Battlenecks, and they literally said, "We are trying to find something we hate about y'all, and we can't." That I love right there.
Yeah.
That I love right there because you can't if with fans that are being so respectful, you're yelling against one team and for another. You got to have fun with it, and you guys have fun with it. Like I said, I saw the shots. They were amazing. Jackie, one more time, this entire season, the fan bases we had a chance to interact with, each of them were amazing, and the friendly heckling is the best part. Yes, it is. We left each opponent with hugs and laughs. And that's how you want to do it. And next year, I want to do it also. I want to pick a game of the week and go interact with some fans. What I want to do? I want to get my wife has always said she wanted to get an RV
Mhm.
and live in it for a bit while we pay down some bills, and then we get to the place where we want. You know what? I told her last year, when I get healthy, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the time, we're gonna travel, and I want to see you guys. I want to see every fan base in the UFL, and I want people to see me and know me And what I also had planned to do, and this kicked around in my head, the day before a game, is to do my morning show right from the location and have a morning tailgate and everything. The wheels are turning in my head. Honestly, the wheels are turning in my head. The Horns Forward podcast, Vamos Brahmas podcast, will gladly take you in for tailgating experience and hang with the Bulls on Tour crew. Well, thank you all very, very much. Old Snowman, appreciate you and appreciate the Brahmas fans and the UFL fans that have interacted with me through the season, wishing me well when my health went bad. And I got to be a part of the Horns Forward podcast. In fact, it may be the team I follow next year in covering all their games with the ones I know now. And Jackie, I'll put this out there. I want to team up with the Horns Forward podcast in getting the news out about the Brahmas. I'll add them to my coverage team. And speaking of coverage, Old Snowman's going to provide a little alternative play-by-play come Sunday night, beginning at 7:30 Eastern. It's the San Antonio Brahmas and the St. Louis Battlehawks with a spot in the UFL Championship on the line. My broadcast on my YouTube channel will start at 7:30 with the kickoff at 6:30. I beg your pardon. I read that wrong. It's 6:30. That'll be the pregame show, and 7 o'clock will be the kickoff from the Dome at America's Center. It's the Brahma Babe herself, Renee Peters. Jackie Martinez giving an assist. Horns forward. It's time to face the Battlehawks one more time. This time for the XFL Conference Championship. Thank you, my dear. You've been a delight. I love you very much. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me, Brian, and I'll talk to you after we get that dub.
All right. Talk to you then. Thank you. The Brahma Babe joining me yet again. And I think I found the team I'm going to cover next year and cover all their games and just have a lot of fun doing it. Thanks a lot for joining me, folks, on this special. And we're going to have specials all throughout the summer because that's when we have the most fun. So long, everybody.